call the meeting to order. Can we get a roll call, please?
Mrs. Cicchini is not here. Mrs. Cooper Trinidad? Here. Ms. Wall Malafite is not here. Mr. Giuliano is not here. Mr. Nuss?
Here.
Mrs. Stahl? Here. Mrs. Whitty?
Here.
Mrs. Zilberry? Here. And Mr. Giagostino?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Would you please join me in the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Sussex-Wantage Regional School District Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted in the school building and notice of said meeting sent to the New Jersey Herald and the Star Ledger.
The Sussex-Wantage Regional School District is a responsive, caring, child-centered community. Our mission is to educate each individual to become a confident, competent, lifelong learner and productive, responsible citizen by providing challenging opportunities in a safe environment through a partnership of families, schools, and communities.
Thank you, Mrs. Whitty. At this time, we will move on to the report of the Superintendent of Schools.
Thank you, Mr. D'Agostino. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to start the night off with a variety of celebratory recognition functions. So we're going to invite Mr. Schwartz up to do Students of the Month at Sussex Middle School for May and June. And we're going to recognize our Teachers of the Year, and then we're going to recognize some retirees.
Good evening, Mr. Gall, Mr. D'Agostino, members of the Board of Education, and members of our audience tonight. I will recognize a student of the month from each grade level that has gone above and beyond the past 2 months of our school year. The 6th grade student of the month for May is Cameron Lewis. Cameron does well in all subject areas, but shows a particular interest in science and math classes. Cameron considers these areas to be his strengths and has always had fun learning the content. Cameron is a very active young man and has participated in track and cross country here at SMS, 2 sports that he is looking to continue next year. This said, his true passion is the sport of soccer, which he has played since the age of 4. The 6th grade team stated the following when nominating Cameron for the Student of the Month. Cameron is a diligent student with great manners. He is kind to his friends and always has a smile in front of them. He has a solid work ethic and continues to work hard throughout the year. Cameron is an exemplary peer role model and is always willing to help others. The 6th grade team looks forward to watching Cameron continued success as he moves into 7th grade next year. Please join me in congratulating Cameron.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great job. The 6th grade student of the month for the month of June is Brooke Wagner. Brooke has always enjoyed social studies class, where she has learned about Greek and Roman civilizations over the past year. This is a subject area that she is looking forward to next year as well. Brooke has what I would describe as a gentle soul, and it came as no surprise that she would like to pursue a career as a teacher or working with animals someday. Also fitting, Brooke is involved in Girl Scouts and 4-H, where she has participated in gardening and craft making as well as other volunteer activities. The 6th grade team stated the following when nominating Brooke for the Student of the Month. She is a respectful and responsible student who is eager to learn and always puts forth her best effort. Brooke is also cooperative, kind, and extremely helpful in the classroom. She works well with her classmates and is always willing to assist others. In addition, her upbeat and positive attitude is a breath of fresh air. The 6th grade team looks forward to watching Brooke's continued success as she moves into 7th grade next year. Please join me in congratulating Brooke as the 6th grade teacher. Seventh grade student of the month for May is Abigail Allen. Here at SMS, Abby is enjoying her social studies class, a subject area that she has always felt confident in. Abby participates in softball and soccer, two sports that she has always enjoyed and looks forward to playing in the future. In addition to these sports, Abby also likes to draw in her downtime. When she gets older, she would like to pursue a career in teaching or law enforcement, both professions where she can continue to help others within her community. The seventh grade team stated the following when nominating Abby. Abby is very conscientious when missing class. She is helpful to others and often goes out of her way to assist others when she finishes her own work early. In addition, Abby is a happy student that brings positivity and smiles to others in her rooms. Please join me in congratulating Abby as the seventh grade. The seventh grade student of the month for June is Jake Levansky. Here at SMS, Jake is enjoying his math class, a subject area that he has always enjoyed and felt comfortable with. Jake will most certainly use his mathematical expertise as he looks to pursue a career in astronomy someday. Here at SMS, Jake is looking forward to next year where he will explore the yearbook club, bowling, volleyball, and ski club. Outside of SMS, Jake can be found playing baseball or gaming on his Xbox. The seventh grade team stated the following when nominating Jake. Jake rises above other distractions in class. He likes challenges and extra work and works well with anyone. Jake, simply put, is a really nice kid. He shares insightful ideas in class, follows through when completing work, and is a model citizen to his peers. Please join me in congratulating Jake. The eighth grade student of the month for May is Moya Lynch. Moya's favorite class here at SMS is language arts, where she is particularly fond of her teacher and writing. When Moya gets older, she is looking to enter the field of medicine and one day become an anesthesiologist. On a daily basis, Moya is an unassuming student that has been consistently finding success over the past few years. Whether it is her academics or success in gymnastics, she works hard, very hard, and it has paid off. The eighth grade team stated the following when recommending Moya. Moya has been consistently a good student all year and amongst her gymnastics commitments. She has worked particularly hard in math, working at a higher level to challenge herself. She's also a stellar student in language arts, science, and social studies as well. She is kind, respectful, and down to earth. It came as no surprise that Moya was selected as the student of the month. She has had an outstanding career here at SMS, and I'm confident that she will find success with anything she pursues in the future. As we say goodbye to her at the end of this year, I can tell you that she will be missed by many and has had a positive impact on many here at SMS. Please join me in congratulating Moya. The eighth grade student of the month for June is Onyx Margiata. Onyx's favorite class here at SMS is music. As I continue to shed more light on this wonderful student, you will note that music is something that is constantly on her mind. To start, this student can play the B-flat clarinet, the bass clarinet, and the ukulele. Not just play them, but play them very well. Onyx has been a part of the West SMS bands, as well as the Franklin band. They are looking forward to High Point High School next year, where they will join the music department and begin participating in marching band, concert band, and exploring aspects of the art and theater departments as well. The eighth grade team stated the following when recommending Onyx. Onyx is forthcoming with details in regard to their grade, always checking in after absences to make sure they have completed all necessary work. They go above and beyond in their writing pieces and challenge themselves to read complex texts. Onyx has been a consistent student all year long, exhibiting skills of a responsible student and has great time management skills. As we say goodbye at the end of this year, I can tell you that they will be missed by many and have made a positive impact along the way here at SMS. Please join me in congratulating Onyx as the eighth grade student.
Thank you, Mr. Schwartz, and congratulations again to all the recipients. Next up, we're going to congratulate our Governor's Educator of the Year winners. So first up at the Lawrence School is kindergarten teacher Davey Schneider. As a kindergarten teacher at CEL, Mrs. Schneider has always viewed teaching as so much more than curriculum, assessments, and objectives. When her students enter her classroom, her first and foremost goals are that they feel welcome, loved, are surrounded by support, and their needs are being met academically, emotionally, and socially. She has remarked that all of her children's smiles, tears, imaginative stories, kind words, worries, and enthusiasm make it all worth it every single day. Mrs. Schneider has been the consummate professional during my time at CEL. She is intelligent, hardworking, and flexible to the point of volunteering. She came to me and said, "Michael, I'd love to loop with my students next year in first grade." What more can we ask for? She arrives early and stays late, in addition to having a family of her own. When the opportunity for this year's Governor Educator of the Year came along, Mrs. Schneider was the first person the committee thought of, and she is certainly deserving of this prestigious award. Please join me in congratulating her. So Mrs. Schneider is also getting the Superintendent Roundtable Award recognition. She unfortunately wasn't able to attend the luncheon, but I believe she was in Florida on the beach, so don't. And next up, we'll have Mr. Gregory to present the Wanton School Teacher of the Year.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Gall. Good evening. Ms. Roberts has been an educator for the past 20 years and a fifth grade special education teacher at the Wantage Elementary School for the past 14 years. Ms. Roberts has taught various roles at Wantage Elementary School to include resource room, inclusion, basic skills, and self-contained. She's also a bowling club advisor and summer step-up teacher. Fellow staff members commented the following regarding Ms. Roberts. Ms. Roberts is constantly working to meet the needs of her students in and out of the classroom. Her positive attitude, warm personality, and eagerness to teach is shown through her students. They are willing, hardworking, and smiling while learning because of her. Every staff member that has worked with Ms. Roberts compliments her flexibility along with her creativity when it comes to introducing engaging activities. Ms. Roberts believes that teaching is like a roller coaster in the dark. It has highs and lows, and you never know what's around the corner. Ms. Roberts believes her top qualities are patience, comfort, understanding, and humor. Students are encouraged to make mistakes because without them, they would never improve or show growth. She reminds us that you should never judge anyone as you don't know what they might have been through just to get to school that morning. Ms. Roberts went above and beyond this year when Mr. Twilliger, a fellow colleague, co-teacher, and close friend, unexpectedly passed away. Ms. Roberts immediately provided additional support as she created and facilitated the implementation of daily lesson plans for the class. She is commended for putting the students' best interest as her top priority, even under the most challenging circumstances. I'm proud to recognize Ms. Deborah Roberts as the Wantage 2021-22 Governor Educator of the Year.
Thank you, Mr. Gregory. Mr. Schwartz will present our Sussex Middle School Governor's Educator of the Year.
Mrs. Apolito has been teaching for over 20 years and began her teaching career at the middle school with special education. She currently teaches general education 7th grade language arts. Her teaching responsibilities include basic skills all the way up through advanced. In getting to know Mrs. Apolito over the years, I believe that one of her greatest assets is her ability to share her enthusiasm and positivity with both her students and colleagues. Students enjoy being in Mrs. Apolito's class because it is an environment where they feel engaged, challenged, and safe. Her connection with her students is real, honest, and sincere, and it works. Mrs. Apolito's lessons include thought-provoking reading and writing activities which inspire students to think more deeply and engage in informed discussions with their classmates. Mrs. Apolito makes sure that our classroom is a place where students feel comfortable sharing their thoughts, even if they are not the most popular. This includes several social issue topics which encourage her students to challenge their own thinking and opinions. Mrs. Apolito is a consummate professional. She always presents herself well and is mindful of the importance of setting a good example, and is 100% present for her students and colleagues. At times, teaching can be exhausting, and it is easy to get bogged down, and I can say that Mrs. Apolito has remained positive and continued to grow as an educator each and every year that I have worked with her. She is counted on by so many. Mrs. Appolito is very deserving of this recognition, and we are grateful to have her here as a staple of the SMS family. Thank you for all that you do. Please join me in congratulating Mrs. Appolito.
Congratulations again to all the recipients. Next up, we're going to recognize some of our retirees who joined us this evening. First up at the Clifton E. Lawrence School, Ms. Diane Pierre. Like many of the teachers at the Clifton E. Lawrence School, Mrs. Pierre is a skilled professional who encompasses all the qualities necessary to be an outstanding educator. She is energetic, creative, dedicated to her student population, and she is able to work exceptionally well with students of all backgrounds. As her colleagues have noted, Mrs. Pierre is someone you can always count on. She has worked tirelessly for the children in our district for 32 years. Her job is not an easy one, as she works with many different colleagues. It takes someone with a lot of patience to work with children. It takes a lot more patience to navigate working with so many different adults. Diane is always willing to do whatever is needed, which in these times often means covering the classes for a moment or two. Mrs. Pierre is always someone you can count on to have a smile on her face and not complain no matter what. Despite all mentioned above, she's there happily to do whatever needs to be done. Please join me in congratulating. And next up at the Lawrence School, who I first met at the Wanton School, is Mrs. Walsh. I was on a recent trip down south. I started up with a conversation with a lady from Alabama about careers, and it sounded to me like she was a teacher. So I said, "Hey, are you a teacher?" And she remarked, "No, I'm just a TA." And I said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." And I immediately thought of Mrs. Walsh, who had to be recognized in retirement. And I said, "Don't ever talk like that." And I started telling her about Mrs. Walsh and how TAs in our little district in Sussex County, New Jersey, basically keep the operation afloat on a daily basis. So in regard to Mrs. Walsh, in addition to consistently being there for her students during and after school, she has always been dedicated to personal growth in her profession. She's been an integral part of our entire district, engaging in things like Drive One for Your School and the Learning Circus. In preparation for these things, I go through personnel files, just get an idea of what people have done. I've never seen a thicker personnel file for a teacher assistant with the amount of professional development that she's done in her career. I mean, at this point, things like genetic linkage studies, sensory integration, social stories, neurofeedback, Skinner's analysis of verbal behavior, turning kids on to reading, and nonviolent crisis intervention, just to name a few. I'm very confident she knows more about education than I do. In addition to that, she's also personally taught me how to do bus duty at the Wanton School. I looked back at one of the evaluations I gave her early on, and it said something along the lines of, she's a tremendous asset during bus duty. She monitors the entire bus landing and departure area to ensure efficiency, which was my way of saying I had no idea what I was doing, and she basically ran the whole thing. In 1996, Dr. Lorber, former principal of the Lawrence School, a gentleman so respected they named the roadway after him, noted the following about Mrs. Walsh. "You have worked very hard to learn the duties and responsibilities of your various assignments." This was her first evaluation, I believe. "You have demonstrated a strong intelligence in doing so. You've also demonstrated a human warmth and feeling for the students you work with that has been admirable. You have exerted all the strength and energy in your power to make their lives fruitful and happy. You have worked with a good humor and good cheer that added significantly to a positive social and emotional climate wherever you were." He noted that you were exactly the kind of person that he looks for when he needed to hire people to work with our disabled population. "It was good fortune to have you devote yourself to this work." Well, Mrs. Walsh, it was our good fortune to have you devote yourself to being a TA. Thank you and congratulations. Just wanted to offer special thanks too to Mrs. Vicki Wilson, our Director of Special Services. She's truly had a transformational impact on our district, from grant writing to revising TA roles to mediation resolutions, reimagining our RTI program, just to name a few. Her impact has been far-reaching. It's a debt that will never be able to be repaid. At this juncture, she'll be transitioning to a new phase of her life and submitted for retirement. I know everyone joins me in wishing her well in her future endeavors and thanking her for her service to our district. She couldn't be with us tonight, but we appreciate everything she's done. And I'm gonna ask Mr. Gregory to come on up.
All right, and thank you again, Mr. Gall. We would like to congratulate Ms. Bonnie Lienzo for over 25 years of service to the Sussex-Wantage Regional School District. Ms. Lienzo began her career with the Sussex-Wantage Regional School District as a teacher assistant on the playground, for which she frequently assisted students jumping rope. When asked what inspired her to become a teacher, she recalled the following event. She recalled seeing one of her elementary students in the mall, whereas a student turned to her mother and said, "Hey Mom, that's our rope turner." Mrs. Lienzo realized that she wanted to be more than a rope turner, so she took several years off of that role and went to school to become a teacher. It was her love of children that inspired her to pursue education and ultimately gave her the drive and motivation to remain in the field for over 20 years. Mrs. Lienzo may be best known for her love for math and science, consistently engaging students in hands-on activities and science lessons that incorporated a variety of experiments. One of the most challenging times for Mrs. Lienzo was during the pandemic. Just the thought of holding Google Meets while maintaining control of 20+ students at home on the computer was enough to make her contemplate retirement. However, Mrs. Lienzo took the pandemic in stride and utilized her experience to configure ways to best implement this learning paradigm. Like many of us, the pandemic challenged her to grow and explore new ideas. When asked what she feels made her so successful as a teacher, she replied without hesitation. To be truly successful, you have to build a partnership with the parents. I couldn't have done it without their support. I can honestly say that we're going to truly miss Mrs. Lienzo, and I know from the parents that I had talked to, she really was inspirational and a great asset to the Wanton School. Congratulations, Mrs. Lienzo, and we wish you the very best in your retirement.
This is for you also.
Oh.
Okay.
The only other things I wanted to point out, just to update the board, special thanks, you know from my communications over the years that I was taking on the book room, as it's called at the Lawrence School, and I spent, I don't know, a weekend up there, and I got like maybe 6 shelves done of, I don't know, 100 shelves. And actually, Mrs. Riker's daughter, who works with us in the summer, Paige, did an extraordinary job overhauling that room. So there's some things on the agenda for consideration the board to dispose of, but all the other things in that room have been totally reorganized. So I wanted to give a special thanks to Paige Riker for all of her help. And that's all I had for this portion of the meeting. We always encourage the audience to remain for the duration of the board meeting. If you didn't want to, now would be a nice little intermission time to take off. Hope wish everyone a happy and safe 4th of July weekend. Congratulations, everyone.
All right, sorry. Oh, yeah. At this point, we're going to move on to audience remarks. Members of the audience are invited to make brief comments about items on this agenda and matters of interest to the district. Are there any audience remarks? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to the board secretary certification.
Pursuant to NJAC 6A 23A-16.10C3, I certify that as of May 31st, 2022, no line item account has encumbrances and expenditures which in total exceed the line item appropriation in violation of NJAC 6A 23A-16.10.
Thank you. We'll move on to the approval of board minutes for May 4th, 2022, regular and executive session, and May 12th, 2022, regular and executive session. Looking for a motion, please?
I'll motion.
Thank you. Looking for a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion on the board minutes? All right, roll call, please.
Mrs. O'Barry? Yes. Mrs. Cooper Trinidad?
Yes.
Mr. Nuss?
Yes, on May 4th, and I was out on the 12th.
So, abstain. Mrs. Whitty?
Yes.
Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Minutes are approved.
All right, we are going to go into a very brief executive session, approximately 15 minutes. So can I get a resolution, please, Mr. Chair?
Whereas pursuant to NJSA 10-4-12B, the Sussex-Wantage Regional Board of Education may exclude the public from that portion of the public meeting at which the board discusses any of the matters described at NJSA 10-4-12B 1 through 9. Now therefore be it resolved that the Sussex-Wantage Regional Board of Education shall enter into closed session to discuss personnel matters. Now therefore be it further resolved by the Sussex-Wantage Regional Board of Education that pursuant to NJSA 10-4-13B, the time when and the circumstances under which the discussion conducted in closed session can be disclosed to the public is when the need for confidentiality no longer exists.
Thank you. Looking for a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We will see you in about 15 minutes. In public session, we're going to move on to the presentation of agenda items.
Under personnel, I'd like to move items 1 through 34, noting that under number 34, page 8, under C number 1, exhibit A, I'm modifying the phrase teaching experience to K to 8 work experience.
All right, looking for a motion? You looking for a second? Second. Thank you. Any discussion on personnel? Just on number 2 and 3, I just want to say that we will be voting on sharing Mr. Gall with Lafayette, or they'll have him a third of the time. We'll have a full-time principal in the Lawrence School, and though we don't like to share Mr. Gall, we get the opportunity to lock him in for 5 more years in doing this as well. Which I personally am very happy about if this gets passed. And, hopefully it being a sending district of High Point as well as us, it will start to get the kids on the same page going into High Point, Lafayette, and Sussex-Wantage. But this board is certainly knows that Mr. Gall is our superintendent and we are sharing him. They are not sharing him with us. So we will make sure that he is doing his job as we always do, right, Mr. Gall?
I have no doubt.
All right, if there's no other discussion, roll call please.
Mrs. Stahl?
Yes.
Mr. Nuss?
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper Trinidad?
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Barry? Yes. Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And under policy, I'd like to move items 1 through 6, noting number 5, modifying the date of September 29th to September 22nd.
All right, looking for a motion please.
Motion.
Thank you. Mr. Nuss seconded, any discussion? Roll call please.
Mrs. O'Barry? Yes. Mr. Nuss?
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper Trinidad? Yes. Mrs. Stahl?
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty?
Yes.
Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Under finance, I'd like to move items 1 through 91.
All right, Mr. Nuss made the motion, Mrs. Stahl seconded, any discussion?
Yeah, I just had a question on number 62 with the student lunches. Like we've had free lunch for a while, do we not have free, does the nation not have free lunch anymore?
That is correct.
Okay, so we're back to normal that way. Okay, good.
Any other discussion? Roll call please.
Mr. Nuss?
Yes.
Mrs. Stahl?
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper Trinidad? Yes. Mrs. Whitty?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Barry? Yes. Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Under appointments, I'd like to move item number 1.
Looking for a motion please. Any discussion? Roll call please.
Mrs. Stahl?
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper Trinidad?
Yes.
Mr. Nuss?
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Barry? Yes. Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Under designations, I'd like to move item number 1.
Looking for a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
Anybody in the audience like to second? Alright, any discussion? Alright, roll call please.
Mr. Nuss?
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper Trinidad?
Yes.
Mrs. Stahl?
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Barry? Yes. Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Under other approvals, I'd like to move item number 1.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call please.
Mrs. Stahl?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Barry? Yes. Mrs. Cooper Trinidad? Yes. Mr. Nuss?
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty?
Yes.
Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Motion
Under adoptions, I'd like to move item number 1.
Looking for a motion? Looking for a second. Any, we should just go into certain one, take turns. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Stahl?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Barry?
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper Trinidad?
Yes.
Mr. Nuss?
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty?
Yes.
Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Under special services, I'd like to move items 1 through 8.
I'll make a motion.
Perfect. Any discussion? Roll call.
Mrs. Cooper Trinidad?
Yes.
Mrs. Stahl?
Yes.
Mr. Nuss?
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Barry? Yes. Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Under curriculum, I'd like to move item number 1.
I'll make a motion.
Right. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cooper Trinidad?
Yes.
Mrs. Stahl?
Yes.
Mr. Nuss?
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Barry?
Yes.
Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Referring to the addendum under personnel, I'd like to move items 1 through 5.
I'll make the motion.
And I'll second
Any discussion on personnel on the addendum 1? All right, roll call.
Mr. Nuss?
Yes.
Mrs. Stahl?
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper Trinidad?
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Barry?
Yes.
Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Addendum number 1, under policy, I'd like to move item number 1.
Motion. Thank you. Looking for a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion on policy on addendum 1? Roll call, please.
Mrs. O'Barry?
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper Trinidad?
Yes.
Mr. Nuss?
Yes.
Mrs. Stahl?
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty?
Yes.
Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Referring to addendum number 1, under finance, I'd like to move items 1 and 2.
Looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Looking for a second. All right, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cooper Trinidad?
Yes.
Mrs. Stahl?
Yes.
Mr. Nuss?
Yes.
Mrs. Whitty?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Barry? Yes. Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And referring to addendum number 2, under personnel, I'd like to move item number 1.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All right, and discussion. Okay, so addendum 2 is a slight amendment, I guess you would call it. The original shared service agreement said no less than 15 hours at Lafayette and up to 30 hours at Sussex-Wantage. So we are changing it to say also no less than 30 hours at Sussex-Wantage to make it equitable and fair to our district. So this will go into effect as soon as the county and Lafayette approves it at their next meeting, which they have verbally agreed to. So that's what this is about. Roll call, please.
And just,
Sorry.
and just to clarify, and just to clarify, those are not, those are main hours. There's many other hours that he dedicates as superintendent of both districts. That's just the meat one.
That's just the bare minimum you're gonna work, Mr. Bell.
Appreciate you pointing that out.
All right, roll call, please.
Mrs. Whitty?
Yes.
Mr. Nuss?
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper Trinidad?
Yes.
Mrs. Stahl?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Barry?
Yes.
Mr. D'Agostino?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, at this time, we are going to move on to unfinished business. Does anyone on the board have any unfinished business they would like to discuss?
I do.
Yes, sir.
I have a simple question. Have we heard from the state with regard to the unemployment situation?
We have not.
Putting on
Trust
record.
me, if I
Yeah.
hear, it'll go out in a
Putting on
special
record.
announcement.
Yes. A blimp over the skydivers.
Is there any other unfinished business?
Maybe. I don't believe that we received paper report cards, did we? No.
You see everything in airport.
Yeah, well, is there any particular reason why we chose to do that?
I think just probably it started with COVID and just evolved into efficiency
But there were students that we did have to provide Chromebooks to because they didn't have access to an internet, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and will we continue to send out paper schedules when the kids get their schedules from SMS?
Have we talked
And
about that yet, Mr.
Bus
Schwartz?
passes that they usually get come in paper?
Yeah.
Because like eventually I throw the schedules out and I throw the bus passes out, but for whatever reason, I keep those report cards and 20 years later, the kid throws them out, you know.
I still have
Yeah.
mine from this district.
Yeah.
I still have mine
Nick's
as
mother
well.
still has his. I am kind of disappointed in that, and, you know, it's, the kids, most of them, you know, I don't know if your kids bring home report cards, but they actually get excited about these things. Right? And so I think it was a mistake not to do it, and I would like to bring it back, and I had brought it up that at least for the final report card.
Yeah.
If we didn't do it for anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I'm personally not unopposed to it.
I think it should be brought back too.
At least the final one.
I think they should.
They should be. You know, the little brown envelope you used to sign, and it, this way the parents saw it.
You give it to your parent while they're on the phone.
I like the yellow menus. Anyone remember the yellow menus, the little daily bulletins on it? You know?
And with the report card too, I mean, I didn't fully read anything, and I probably don't really even have to sell this because you all seem to be okay with it. But, I think I read something about real time is gonna be shut down for a while because they changed things in the system or whatever. What about the parent that, you know, a couple of weeks from now say, hey, I never got that report card. Oh, it's on the computer, I go to look at it and it's not available. Or when your kid is out of the school, if you didn't happen to print one off, you know, you can't get back to it. So I think the school needs to take the responsibility of sending the paper report card home. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to be sorry about. I mean,
No.
it's not a, you know, that's not something that I'll fight on, but I'm not opposed to.
Right. That's why I put on unfinished business.
Awesome. Is there any other unfinished business? Any new business that we would like to discuss?
I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank the Sussex-Wantage Board for even considering the opportunity to share with another school district. It's very humbling. I hope I can continue to earn your respect. Personally want to thank this board, the Lafayette Board, on the leadership of Mr. D'Agostino, Mrs. Whitty, Mr. Akins, and Mrs. Carlson. I know both BAs and both legal teams went back and forth up until the other night with language and nuances, and so very appreciative of that and that consideration. Also want to introduce Mrs. Demolakis, who's been approved as a Lawrence School Principal / Director of Curriculum. I think she's going to do an extraordinary job. The committee we had, which was composed of board members, teachers, veteran teachers, and administrators, really just unanimously selected her. It's clearly demonstrated a solid work ethic and extraordinary aptitude for leadership throughout her time here. And I want to personally thank the Lawrence School staff who gave me just an extraordinary opportunity and level of support being their principal for a few years, which was another extraordinary task because that had never been done before. So they're really an outstanding group of people who you couldn't have done it without them. So thank you to everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Gall. And on behalf of the board, I'd like to also congratulate Mrs. Demolakis. I know we're all very excited. Obviously, it was unanimous to have you lead the Lawrence School. And how cool your story just comes full circle as a student and now the principal in the district. Not to put you on the spot, but did you want to say anything? Or... Sure. Yeah, please.
Not to put her on this, was she going to say no?
I just wanted to thank you guys all very much. I'm very excited. And as Mr. D'Agostino noted, I was a student in this school, and my mom was a teacher at the Lawrence School. And I'm so excited to come full circle. I love all children, and I especially love the Lawrence School child. Very excited, and I can't wait to meet all the parents and students.
Yeah.
We're very excited also.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is there any other new business? Seeing none, we will move on to audience remarks. Members of the audience are invited to make brief comments about items on this agenda and matters of interest to the district. Are there any audience remarks? Seeing none, oh, sorry, there is, go ahead if you would like to come up.
Hi.
And this is Ms. Fryer, one of our new kindergarten teachers.
Hi, I just wanted to,
Congratulations.
thank you. I just wanted to formally introduce myself and thank you all for this amazing opportunity. Like Mrs. Themelakis, I also went through this school district as a child. My kids go here, I still live here, I've lived here for 35 years. Leaving behind 13 years experience at another school district, but I'm just really looking forward to being part of this district.
Well, thank you so much, welcome back. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Are there any, are there any other audience remarks? Seeing none, we are going to go into the second executive session as well. This one will be approximately 30 minutes. About 30 minutes. Can I get a resolution, please?
Whereas pursuant to NJSA 10-4-12B, the Sussex-Wantage Regional Board of Education may exclude the public from that portion of a public meeting at which the board discusses any of the matters described at NJSA 10-4-12B 1 through 9. Now therefore be resolved that the Sussex-Wantage Regional Board of Education shall enter into closed session to discuss legal matters and superintendent evaluation. Now therefore be it further resolved by the Sussex-Wantage Regional Board of Education that pursuant to NJSA 10-4-13B, the time when and the circumstances under which the discussion conducted in closed session can be disclosed to the public is when the need for confidentiality no longer exists.
Thank you. Looking for a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Looking for a second. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you, everybody. We will be back in about 30 minutes. back in public session, and I would like to look for a motion to adjourn.
I would like to make that motion.
Or look for a second.
I would like to make that.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thanks.
All right, thanks.